Welcome. Let's begin our yoga class by coming either into a comfortable seat, laying down on our back, or finding child's pose. Thank you for being here and for sharing your practice and your energy. Let's begin to ground and center. Take some deep, full breaths. And as you breathe into yourself, sense yourself connecting in to your surroundings. Sense yourself connecting in to the ground, into the earth. Sense yourself connecting to the rhythm of your heartbeat, the movement of your lungs. Notice the sounds in your space. Notice the sensations against the skin. Notice what it's like to be here now. We'll work on being fluid in our practice today and maybe even moving a little bit deeper, both physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually. One thing that helps us, supporting us in moving more deeply on that emotional, spiritual, and mental level is by creating a sankalpa, setting an intention for our practice or making a dedication or repeating a mantra or affirmation. And so I invite you to create your sankalpa for this practice now. It may be one that you've used dozens of times before that you create newly, or it may be something that just comes to you in the moment. Take one more big, long, deep breath, breathing in for a count of 6. Pausing with the breath held in for a few moments. And then exhaling for a count of 6. Take your time opening the eyes and begin to transition into tabletop pose on hands and knees. Once we arrive here, we'll begin to cat-cow the spine and allow our breath to guide this movement. Feel the hands connecting down into the mat. Notice the movement of the pelvis as you tuck it under when you come into your cat pose, and as you lift the sits bones and tilt it backward as you come into your cow pose. Notice where you feel the sensations. I often feel this across my upper back and shoulders. Let's take 2 more rounds of cat and cow movement. And then come back to stillness. Spinal balance. Lift the belly up and in to engage the core. Extend the right leg back. Flex the foot, lift the toes up a few inches off the ground, and then extend the left arm out away from the body like you're shaking someone's hand. Look straight down so that the neck is long. Breathe from fingers to foot. Take one more breath. On the next exhale, release. Once again, feel centered, engage the core, lifting the belly button to the spine. This time, extending the left leg behind us. Flex the foot, lift the toes up a few inches from the ground. Reach the right arm straight out like you're shaking someone's hand. Look down, have a long neck, and breathe 3 rounds of breath from fingers to foot. On the next exhale, release the hand, release the leg. Cat cow the spine a few more times. Feel the pads of the fingers gripping down into the mat. And we'll come into downward dog, maintaining that bandha through the hands. Curl the toes, sweep the hips up and back. Press the chest towards the legs, bend the knees as much as you need to. And start to move around gently and slowly. If you like, you can do what's called walking the dog, sending one heel to the ground, bending the opposite knee, and then switching on the next breath. Moving slowly, or just holding downward dog and breathing into it at your edge. Let's take 2 more nice long breaths in downward dog. On our next breath, forward fold, bring the feet to the hands. Keep the head hanging low. Make sure the toes are pointing towards the top of the mat. Soften the knees as much as you need to in order to feel good in this pose. Allow the head to hang heavy. We're gently opening up the fascial plane in the back body, stretching out through the bottoms of the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Visualize inhaling through the bottoms of the feet. Exhaling through the crown of the head. Inhaling through the bottoms of the feet. Exhaling through the crown of the head. Inhaling through the bottoms of the feet. Exhaling through the crown of the head. Inhaling through the bottoms of the feet. Exhaling through the crown of the head. On the next breath, gently bring the body up to standing, moving slowly and mindfully, taking time to get here, eventually arriving, allowing the head to be the last thing that comes up. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears, press down through the shoulders, lift up through the bottoms of the feet into the front body, all the way up to the crown of the head. Standing in Tadasana with the arms beside the body, palms facing forward. Take a few breaths. Feel what it's like to be standing, to lengthen the body through space. And your deep connection to your own inner rhythms. Let's float our hands together at heart center. Find Ujjayi breathing to guide us through our practice of sun salutations. A slight constriction of the throat. The mouth closes, the tongue presses against the roof of the mouth, and we breathe in and out through the nose, hearing the flow of our own breath wave. Big, deep, and full breaths. This breath work begins to warm the body, supporting us as we find physical movement. On the next inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale and fold forward all the way down. Find the ground. On the inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen from the crown to the sits bones. On the exhale, release to come into plank pose, top of a push-up. If you want to modify, come to the knees. On the inhale, pull the shoulders back, lift the belly up and in. And on the exhale, lowering chaturanga, hug the elbows into the side body. Now slide forward onto the tops of the feet for upward dog, or onto the tops of the legs for cobra, and open the front body. Press down into the hands. Keep pulling the shoulder blades down the back as we shift into downward facing dog, and take 3 breaths. On the next breath, let's return to the top of the mat and fold forward. With an inhale, come back up to standing, sweeping up through our energetic field with our arms, reaching our fingertips towards the heavens, and then exhaling the hands into the heart space. Take a breath. 2 more rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw the belly in as we fold forward. Inhale and lift up halfway, lengthening out. Exhale, return to plank. Inhale to engage. Exhale, lowering, elbows hug into the side body. Inhale, open up into up dog or cobra. Shine the heart, pressing through the hands to shift into downward dog. Take 2 long breaths. On the next breath, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale up, reach the arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath, inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Make sure you still hear the sound of your Ujjayi breath as we enter our third salutation. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release to plank. Inhale, engage. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, open the front body. Exhale, downward dog. 1 breath this time, inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. With the next breath, return to the top of the mat. Inhale up, reaching. Exhale, drawing the hands into heart center. Pause here. Feel the flow of the breath. Feel the ground underneath the feet. Notice the rhythm of the heartbeat. Take a moment to mentally repeat your Sankalpa. On our next inhale, we'll reach up with the arms and exhale, fold forward. Low lunge, step the right foot back and lower the knee to the ground. On the inhale, reach the arms up and send the pelvis forward as we exhale. Stay here for a few breaths. On the exhale, lower both hands to the ground. Leave the right hand rooted and revolve, open up the left arm. If you can, look up towards the left fingertips. On the exhale, bring the left hand down on the inside of the left foot for lizard lunge. We'll heel toe the left foot out towards the long edge of the mat. Lift up the back knee and rock and roll the hips around a little bit. And then settle back down into lizard lunge. Remember, you can prop up the forearms if you need to, or stay on the hands. Take 5 breaths. Staying for one more breath. Gently release, bringing the body back up, and swing the left leg behind to either tabletop or plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. On the next breath, come back to the top of the mat and fold forward. Pressing into the feet, inhale, back up to standing, reaching through the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale fully here. Exhale completely. On the next inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Low lunge, other side. Step back with the left foot. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, send the pelvis forward. Breathe into the pose. Exhale, both hands down. Leave the left hand on the floor. Open up the right arm and revolve. Exhale, the right hand to the inside of the foot for lizard lunge. Open up the right foot towards the long edge of the mat. Lift the back knee. Rock and roll the hips around for a moment. If you need a prop, go ahead and grab that, bringing the floor closer to you. And then settle in. Take 5 full breaths. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Take one more breath. Slowly release, bringing the body back up, swinging the right leg behind, coming to plank or tabletop, moving down to the ground, sliding forward, open the front body, shifting into downward facing dog. Stay here and take 3 breaths. Notice what it feels like to be in this shape. Take one more breath. Let's return to forward fold on the next breath. And with our inhale, come back up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe into ourselves here. Let's find a little warrior flow. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot back into warrior one. Inhale, reach up through the arms, press down into the front foot, press down into the outer edge of the back foot, and see where you feel the sensations. Leave the legs where they are, and on the exhale, lower the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press the chest open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the elbows, press the chest open. Inhale, reach up one more time. Exhale, press the chest open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale the hands to heart center now. Come into warrior three, balance, standing on the left leg. The right toes lift. This is just like when we did spinal balance, except we are standing on the leg, on the foot, instead of being on our knee. Do your best to find your balance. On the next breath, we're going to release into warrior two. Bend the knee, place both hands, fingertips on the ground, and then place the back foot to open up towards the long edge of the mat. Press down into the feet as shoulders. Gaze out over the left arm, squeeze the fingertips together. And now press the left knee straight. Dancing triangle pose. Flip the left palm up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale to move through center. Exhale over into triangle. Inhale to reach up and back. Exhale to come up and over into triangle. One more time. Good. And this time when we come up and over into triangle, stay here, be here, and breathe here. Release back into warrior two with your next breath. On the exhale, take up space as we windmill the hands down to the ground on either side of the front foot. Step back to plank or modified plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, open the front body. Exhale, downward dog. Lower the knees to the floor for child's pose. Send the hips to the heels and either stretch out the arms, reaching the fingertips towards the top of your mat, or wrap the hands around towards the feet. Take a few breaths to settle into yourself. To observe what's happening for you on all the different levels of being. With new breath, let's come back into downward dog. If you like, moving up first into tabletop and then curling the toes and reaching the hips up and back. On the next breath, forward fold. With a new inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale the hands to heart center. See if you can close the eyes. Breathe into yourself, into the sensations. Mentally return to your Sankalpa. Take one more breath, standing on both feet. And on the next breath, open the eyes and inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale down. Step the left foot back to come into warrior one on the other side. Inhale, reach the arms out, pull the shoulder blades together, float the fingertips up. Try to deepen the bend in the front knee and press into the outer edge of the back foot. Finding some movement here and opening the chest. On the exhale, drop the elbows down, pull the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the arms. Good. Inhale, reach up one more time. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center to transition to warrior three. Find balance, standing on the right leg. You can keep the right knee as bent as you like. Try to reach from the crown of the head to the foot. Find your balance. Breathe. One more breath. Warrior two, release all 10 fingers to the ground. Step the back foot back and open up towards the long edge of the mat. Press down into the feet, into the shoulders. Squeeze the fingertips together. Gaze out over the right arm. Feel your strength in the pose. Inhale, lengthen out the right leg for dynamic dancing triangle. Flip the right palm up. Exhale and reach back. Inhale up through center and exhale out over the right leg into triangle. Good. Twice more. moving, flowing with the breath. And this time, as we come up and over, find triangle and hold, be here and breathe here. Notice what it's like to be in this shape now on this side. On the next breath, warrior two. Take up space as we windmill, both hands down to the ground on either side of the front foot, stepping back to plank or table, lowering down to the ground. Inhale, open up the front body. Exhale, downward dog. Take 2 more nice long breaths here. And on the exhale, gently lower the knees down to the ground and come off the legs onto the seat. From here, we're going to finish out our practice with a few stretches. I recommend getting a small bolster or pillow or a folded blanket to lift the hips and sit upon. So if you're sitting on a prop, you want to come towards the edge of the prop. We're going to extend both legs straight out in front and start by bending the left knee, opening the left knee out to the side and placing the left foot to the inside of the right leg. The right leg is straight out in front of us. Janu Shavasana, head to knee pose. On the inhale, reach up with the arms. And on the exhale, stretch out over the right leg, grabbing wherever you can, even if it's just grabbing the ground in front of you. Of course, you can always use a strap around the foot here. Reach through the crown of the head. Try to keep the spine elongated in this pose. Breathe deeply. Take one more big breath. Gently bring the body back up. Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. So we'll just draw the right leg in close to us so that we can bring the soles of the feet together and the knees gently open up out to the side here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, tilt forward at the hips and then release. You may be able to bring your forehead all the way to your feet, or you may be pretty lifted. Just come to a place where you feel interesting sensations and stretch. and breathe into that space. We're not going to hold this pose very long, but if you suffer from sciatica, sometimes this pose really helps to relieve that pain by stretching out this little muscle in our hips called the piriformis. And you can hold this pose on your own in your own practice for 5 or 10 minutes. Take one more breath. Gently bring the body back up. Lift the knees to center. And now let's switch sides on our head to knee pose. So we'll extend the left leg straight out in front of us, pull the right knee in and open it out to the side. Square ourselves over the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, reach out over the leg. Elongate the spine. Breathe into the pose, breathe into the body, into the tight places. One more breath. Release the upper body. And then begin to gently bend the left leg like we're crossing the ankles in crisscross applesauce, but we're going to attempt to come into fire log pose. So if you can't do that, you can stay here with your ankles crossed. But what we want to try to do is lift the left leg and stack the left shin over top of the right shin. I deeply feel this in the hip of the left leg right now, which is where I want to feel it. If you're having pain in your knees, if this is just not accessible to you, even if you try using a prop, then just cross the legs as much as you can. We can stay lifted here or begin to tilt ourselves forward over the legs. Breathe deeply into whatever sensations you're experiencing. Another alternative to this pose, if sitting is just not good for you at all, is to come onto the back and do figure 4 stretch instead. Take one more big, long, deep breath. And on the next breath, move very slowly to release. Use the hand to help guide the knee back up to center. Let the legs just stretch out in front of you. Let the knees move around a little bit. Bend both knees and kind of windshield wiper the legs from side to side. All right, let's do the other side now. So this time, left leg on the bottom, right leg on top, or right leg crossed in front, whatever works best for you. Get yourself situated. Take a breath to notice. Allow the exhale to gently relieve any tightness or tension. Take another breath if you like to begin hinging forward over the legs from the hips. This is another pose that can be held for several minutes if you're practicing on your own. Take one more big breath here. And then gently release, bringing the body up. Use the hands on the outsides of the knees to help guide them back to center. Shake out the legs gently, windshield wiper, maybe from side to side. Let's come down onto our backs now to finish out our practice this morning with some spinal twist and Shavasana. Lay down on the back, feet flat to the ground. Keep the feet planted and then gently scooch the hips to the right. This just helps ensure we get a full twist in the spine. If you wish, you can cross the right thigh over top the left. Drop both knees down to the left. Open the right arm out to the side and turn the head. Gaze out over the right arm. Breathe deeply. Take one more breath. Gently unwind, come back to center, release the leg. Organize yourself so that you are centered on the mat once again with the feet flat to the ground. And now scooch the hips gently over to the left. If you wish, cross the left thigh over top the right. Both knees are going to drop over to the left. Excuse me, both knees are going to drop over to the right this time. The left arm opens. Turn the head and gaze out over the left. Begin to breathe deeply into the twist. Give yourself permission to unwind and relax fully. Staying here for several more breaths. On the next breath, release. Come back to center. Hug the knees up into the chest. Place each hand on top of each shin and just stir your hips around a little bit in your hip sockets. You can move them simultaneously or alternating. Move them around in one direction and then in the other direction. Maybe you can kind of do like an egg beater motion or something. The idea is to just move the hips around a little bit after all of that deep stretching and bring some synovial fluid into our hip joints. We're going to finish up with Shavasana, final resting pose. If you have a wall nearby, I invite you to come into Shavasana and do legs up the wall. Or you can just lay down on your back on the mat in your usual pose. Be sure to grab anything you need to get settled and make your Shavasana the most comfortable experience possible. Settling down into final resting pose with the eyes closed. Wiggle the tongue around inside of the mouth, letting it come to rest behind the lower set of teeth. Drop awareness down to the bottom of the left foot and relax. Drop awareness down to the bottom of the right foot and relax. Relax the left leg, ankle, knee. Relax the right leg, ankle, knee. Relax the left side of the pelvis, the left hip, left lower back. Relax the right side of the pelvis, right hip, right lower back. Soften the rib cage, soften the chest, soften the throat. Relax the center of the left hand and the fingers. Relax the left arm, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Center of the right hand, relax the right fingers, the right arm, wrist, elbow, right shoulder. Relax the left side of the upper back and the right side of the upper back. Release the jaw, softening around the face, the cheeks, the forehead. Let the eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Back of the head heavy. Upper body heavy. Lower body heavy. Fully relaxing. And now wiggle the toes. Wiggle the fingers. Bend the knees. Put the feet flat to the ground. Bring the palms, the hands together. Rub the hands vigorously, creating friction and heat. When you feel like you have warmth in the hands, place them on the face over the eyes. And gently blink the eyes open into the hands. Bring the body up into a comfortable seat. Keeping a soft gaze, and perhaps when you arrive, closing the eyes once more. Draw the hands together at heart center, tuck the thumbs up into the chest. We'll close our practice by chanting one long Om, which can be done out loud or silently. Those vibrations resonate, connecting us deeper into ourselves, connecting us with the universe, with all of creation, the primordial sound that is the beginning of all things. Take a breath in. Allow those vibrations to resonate and protect you and bring you goodness. Let's seal our practice by lifting the thumbs towards the forehead for good thoughts, bringing the thumbs towards the lips for good words, and to the heart for good intentions. Gently blink the eyes open. Bring your awareness back into the space. And this concludes our practice. Thank you so much.